Dr. AlSadi was born in Basra, Iraq, and has had a phenomenal business career. But he started out as a student. Many of you here today should be inspired by his achievements. Dr. AlSadi was educated first at Leeds University, but subsequently progressed to a PhD in mechanical engineering at the University of Coventry in 1984. Whilst at Coventry, like so many students, he struggled financially and was grateful for occasional work as a teaching and lab assistant to pay his fees and living costs. In the summer of '85, when other students returned home, he needed continued funding and so started a business, working with a friend to buy clothes from London and to resell them in the West Midlands. His early turnover of £1,000 soon turned to 30,000 as his business flourished, and he then branched out to importing goods and buying and reselling stock from bankrupt businesses. Business was going well, and by '86 he had bought his first apartment in Kensington. When the Iraqi war came to an end in '88, he wanted to get involved in rebuilding his home country and so diversified his business interests to supply machinery and other goods into the country. Business was going well, but in 1990 came the occupation of Kuwait by Iraq. As we know, eventually Iraqi assets were frozen and it became impossible to do business in Iraq. In 1991, Dr. AlSadi had to close his business interests and also close down the businesses in the UK. However, Dr. AlSadi is resilient and looked for new opportunities. With friends and contacts in Jordan, a neighbouring country to Iraq, he moved there to support the 1.5 million Iraqi refugees that had set up in Jordan, initially supplying the camps with vital equipment and supplies that they needed. With a passion for engineering, he got involved in supplying water pumps and soon had a factory, his first $1 million contract, and within a few years had built the business to be the largest exporter of pumps with a turnover of $40 million and 200 staff. 6 years later, he spotted a new opportunity, this time in airline catering. As he said at the time, he knew nothing about catering or the airline business, but saw a clear business opportunity to take over the provision of catering and services from Jordanian Airlines. He borrowed heavily to finance the business, but repaid the loan in 4 years and had built another business with $200 million turnover. His interest in airlines then progressed into airline and simulation training, taking over an old training centre and throwing his confidence and vision into rebuilding the business. With $50 million investment in the face of tough competition, he built a dominant training facility in the Middle East with the very best of simulation technology and now trains 6,000 personnel a year. In 2003, after the fall of Saddam Hussein, and with the chance to return to do business in Iraq, Dr. AlSadi saw another business opportunity, thousands of foreign companies in Iraq needing security. He soon established a training academy and, using British instructors and staff, was training 16,000 Iraqis a year. In 2008, he turned his attention to hotels, initially to accommodate the many guests and customers of his businesses in Iraq. The main hotel, which was designed as a 5-star, is now a 7-star with one of the highest ratings in the Middle East. What a fantastic example of entrepreneurial action and how to seize opportunities, and yet in some of the most dangerous parts of the world, and against difficult circumstances. Dr. AlSadi is the true definition of a motivated and resilient businessman. However, there's another dimension to Dr. AlSadi. Whilst he generates considerable revenue, he is also purpose-driven. He recognizes he has been fortunate, and he recognizes he can apply his resources and his business expertise for the wider good. He advises humanitarian organizations. He leads the Iraqi Business Council. He has donated considerable sums to help support the growth of his previous university at Coventry. He provides scholarships for Iraqi and Jordanian students who can't otherwise afford to study master's programs in the UK. He donates to independent charitable projects, including the Mine Seeker Foundation, the Al-Aman Fund for the Future of Orphans, and the Madrasati Public Schools Initiative. Most importantly, in 2012, he developed the AlSadi Changing Lives programme. He provides funds to enable British students to travel to Jordan and to spend time in the country with underprivileged children and youth. He brings the two vastly different groups together to learn about each other's cultures, life, and feelings. Local organisations facilitate the group's interactions, and so they also benefit from international experience and training. The Changing Lives programme has now positively impacted the lives of at least 600 young people from the UK, Jordan, Iraq, and Syria. And this is where the connection with Westminster comes in. Dr. AlSadi's programs has funded 56 students from Westminster to participate in the Changing Lives programme, spending 2 weeks in the country and engaging in a truly transformative experience. Some comments from the students who have attended this programme. Holly Patrick, these are Westminster students. Holly Patrick, I was in awe of the work that Jordanians do to ensure children, mothers, families and communities are educated and equally respected. It opens your eyes and allows you to question in a way you have never been able to before. If I could, I would apply for the scheme again 1,000,000 times over. Julia Lemk, I can now look beyond what I had previously heard about the Middle East and Jordan. Going to see for myself just how beautiful this country is, how beautiful the people are, how welcoming and warm-hearted the Jordanian culture is, and how incredibly happy and comfortable I feel there. Catherine Senaj, the trip to Jordan was the best journey I have ever made. I have broken free from my Western bubble. For all of us, the Changing Lives programme has opened our eyes to the truth of the Middle East. And Georgia Knight, the fact that Jordan is such a liberal country and stays neutral between many conflicts and has opened its arms to so many people with different backgrounds is heartwarming. The love and affection we have been given and been able to give back to the children and people we have met has been incredible. I can see myself living there and continuing to volunteer at the eye-opening places we have been able to see. Shukran from the bottom of my heart, Dr. AlSadi. This has been a journey I will never forget and will cherish for the rest of my life. So on behalf of our students, Dr. AlSadi, thank you for helping to transform our students' lives. So for his example as an entrepreneur, for his example of perseverance and resilience, for his passion for higher education, for his generosity in supporting British students to gain global volunteering opportunities, for his example as a leader and his tireless work in promoting the Middle East and the links between the UK and Jordan, for all of these immense contributions, Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, to you and the University, Dr. Majid AlSadi, for the award of Honorary Doctorate of Letters of the University of Westminster.
Well, I promise you it will not be a long speech. Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, colleagues, graduates, parents, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to you all. It is with great pleasure that I accept this award and the recognition of work I truly love, enjoy, and feel so passionately about. I consider myself very lucky to be here today, sharing with you my journey and the pleasure of giving back to society, especially to the young men and women who are less fortunate. I'm particularly happy to wear this robe again on this glorious occasion, slightly warm, as it brings back wonderful memories of my own graduation at Coventry University 200 years ago. My journey started here in the UK in the late 70s, and here where I learned my first skills and the art of making a deal. Nevertheless, the most profitable and rewarding deals were those which added a smile to an orphan and refugee faces. Through several programs of my charity foundation, my biggest checks were the letters of students touched by the experience of living, sharing, feeling what the refugees go through every day of their life. Dear graduates, today is the start of a new journey. As you are embarking on a new phase of your life, I would like you to remember, thank you. You are very lucky to have parents who supported you in your education, and you should be thankful and grateful to them always. 2, life is not fair. Success is not easy, but hard work, persistence, determination can make your journey a fruitful one. Never give up. Never be afraid to fail. Keep trying until you find your own success on your own terms. Always respect time and deadlines. Be prepared and present your case with full confidence. These are the main ingredients of success, and you should never settle for anything less. And finally, be kind to your tutors, family, friends, colleagues, clients, and the less fortunate, because through kindness and giving, you will find the true secret of success. Thank you very much.